Hello and welcome to your 9 p.m. daily quiz. I hope all of you are doing good and you are all taking advantage of these sessions, learning new things, preparing for the prelims examination. Every evening at 9 p.m. we have this session where we take up important news stories from different sources, convert them into prelim specific questions, and then discuss them in this session. If you're new here, please do hit the like and the subscribe button. Also, you can check out my app from the Google Play Store where I'm running a lot of individual and batch-wise programs. There are individual guidance mentorship programs for the prelims and the mains answer writing. There are also programs related to PSIR. There's a live PSIR course ongoing, PSIR test series, answer writing. You can check out all of them. The link to download the app is in the description of this video. Let's begin with the very first question then. Consider the following statements with regards to the recently signed agreements between India and the US. First, under RDP, that is Reciprocal Defense Procurement, the US and India will provide reciprocal priority support to each other for goods and services that promote national defense. Second, SOSA, that is Security of Supply Arrangement, agreements are intended to promote rationalization, standardization, interchangeability, and interoperability of conventional defense equipment with US allies and other friendly governments. Third, while SOSA, according to the DoD, that is the Department of Defense of the US, are an important mechanism to strengthen interoperability with US defense partners, it is legally non binding. How many of these are correct? Now, this is with respect to our defense minister who was at a recent visit to the US, where multiple agreements related to defense sector were signed. The question is with regards to that. Now, if you remember a few years back, multiple agreements between India and US were signed, such as BECA, LEMOA, CATSA, all these agreements were being signed. Now, with that in mind, this is where this particular question is important. If you look at this particular question, RDP and SOSA are two agreements that are signed, but these are actually opposite to each other. Means RDP, Reciprocal Defense Procurement, is this, while SOSA is an agreement that is defined in the first point. So first and second are actually opposite to each other, while the third one is correct. SOSA is actually legally non-binding. So the answer here is A. Only one of these is correct. First and the second are opposite to each other. This is not the right answer actually. This is the right answer. Only one is correct. First and the second are actually opposite to each other. Next, question number 2. By the way, this is the article in the Indian Express newspaper from where we have taken this particular question. Second question. Consider the following statements. Number 1. Ladakh presently has two districts, Leh and Kargil, with autonomous hill development councils. Second, government has announced that 5 new districts, Zanskar, Dras, Sham, Nubra, and Changthang, would be created in the Union Territory of Ladakh. Third, there is no role of the parliament in the creation of new districts in India. How many of these given statements are correct? Now, as you know, in Ladakh, there have been demands for a longer period of time now for inclusion in the sixth schedule because they want more autonomy. While the government has not accepted that demand, what the government has said is we will create 5 new districts with district headquarters and focus much more on development of these areas as well. Now, it is difficult to say whether the demand or the protest for sixth schedule will die down or not. Leaders of Ladakh say that we only were demanding 2 new districts and not 5, but our demand for sixth schedule will continue. With that in mind, this question is asked. First and second, correct. Currently, there are 2 districts only. Government wants to increase it to 7. Third is also correct. Parliament has no role to play in the creation of a new district. It mainly happens at the level of the Home Ministry. At the state level, the state has a lot of power. At the Union Territory level, it is a Home Ministry of India that decides, with Parliament having no role to play. The answer thus here is C. All the 3 given statements here are correct. There's an article in the Hindu newspaper about how Home Minister has announced 5 new districts for Ladakh. Next, question number 3. Consider the following statements. Number 1. Vikram's landing spot, station Shiv Shakti, is about 300 km from the largest impact crater in the solar system, the South Pole Aitken Basin. Second, after the landing of Vikram on the moon's surface on August 22 last year, PM Modi designated the date as India's new National Space Day. Third, there is general consensus on the fact that the moon was born from the remains of a headlong collision between the early Earth and some rogue planetary body eons ago. How many of these are correct? Now, there is a long article about the discoveries that ISRO has made because of Chandrayaan 3 project, because of which this particular question has been asked. First is correct. The landing spot of Vikram, called Station Shiv Shakti, is about 300 kilometers from this famous largest impact crater. Second is wrong. It landed on 23 August, which is the National Space Day. So it's 23 August, not 22 August. Third is also correct. The general consensus in the scientific community about the formation of moon is this only. The answer thus is B. Two of these three given statements here are correct. This is the article in the Hindu newspaper about Pragyan rover, how it has revealed the signs of magma ocean on ancient moon. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to the Great Indian Bustard. First, the Great Indian Bustard population has been rapidly declining due to habitat loss across several states in India. Second, the Great Indian Bustard is classified as critically endangered on the IUCN of IUCN Red List. Third, the Great Indian Bustard is a state bird of Rajasthan. How many of these are correct? Now, there has been a lot of talk about the Great Indian Bustard, how its population has been declining due to various factors. The Supreme Court judiciary has also stepped in by saying that when these birds actually try to fly, they get caught in the electric wires, so the electric wires also have to be displaced. All these have been in the news in the past few months or so. There's a detailed article about this topic on the Down to Earth website from where we have taken this question. With that in mind, all the three here are correct. The Great Indian Bustard is a state bird of Rajasthan. It is critically endangered as per IUCN, and its population has been rapidly declining across the states in India. The answer thus here is C. All three are correct. Down to Earth magazine has this article about how in Karnataka we only have two of these birds remaining. The state, in the meanwhile, has been pushing for GPS tracking, awareness amongst the community members also to safeguard these birds in the long run. Next, question number 5. Liang Karampuang cave was in the news due to discovery of the world's oldest known figurative cave painting, dating back to 51,200 years. This cave is located in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, or India. Now, this is not a news that came in just today or yesterday in the newspaper. It's a few weeks old news. But just to revise, I hope you have all read about this. Where was this cave found? It is said to be the world's oldest example of figurative cave painting, more than 51,000 years old. The answer here is Indonesia. It was an extremely important piece of news. I hope that all of you read it about a month ago. There is this article in the Indian Express newspaper how the world's oldest cave art is about 51,200 years old. The samples were collected in 2017 and there had been studying going on about aging it. The old cave art includes painting of a wild pig discovered in 2020 in Indonesia. To end the session, I have an infographic for all of you where the government is sharing details about Mpox, that is monkeypox, that has become a new health concern now. There are a few details that you need to know, how it is a viral illness that lasts for about 2 to 4 weeks. These are the important piece of information. How does it spread? By prolonged close contact with the infected person in direct contact with the bodily fluids as well. These are the symptoms: fever, headache, muscle ache, body ache, etc. Rashes usually appear 1 to 3 days after the fever has onset. These are the preventive tips shared by the authorities. This brings us to the end of the session today. I hope you learned something new. Once again, if you're new here, do hit the like and the subscribe button. I would highly appreciate that. To check out other courses that I'm offering, Do download my app. The link is in the description of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye. Jai Hind.